right. Okay, we are back. A little bit late, running a little bit behind schedule, but we are here. We are getting ready to get into our Torah class for today. Our Torah class for today, this week, is Ki Tisa. Ki Tisa, which is when you take. When you take. The portion that we're going to be dealing with, the portion that we're going to be dealing with is Exodus chapter 30. Exodus chapter 30, verse 11, all the way up through 33 and 23. Exodus 30, 11, verses 11 through 33 through 23. All right, so what we want to do first off is just deal with this title, Ki Tisa. Ki Tisa. Let me pull up the scriptures here so we can look at this word here, when you take. When you take. Hold on one second. Let me just okay, so let me just get some control of my cursor here. Exodus 11. What we want to look at is verse 12. And this word here, so Ki Tisa is this here, when you take. And so this here, Ki. Tisa is actually here. Just where we at? No, where's yours? Yeah, get that. Okay, so the word here is nasa, right? And so Tisa is, kind of comes from this word here, nasa, which is to lift. Okay, the word is to lift, to accept, advance, arise, right? To bear, to bring forth, to burn, carry, cast, so on and so forth. So it has the idea of bringing something, carrying something. It's translated here, when thou takest something, and the thing that you're taking is, it says, the sum of the children of Israel. And so you're taking up there that word. I think this is interesting because what is happening here is, here, let's read from 11 down to 16. Hold on, let me read the right version here. 11 through 16, and let me put up here GPS. Oh, here it goes. Okay.
11 through 16 says, and Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, when thou takest the sum of the children of Israel, according to their number, then shall they give every man a ransom for his soul unto Yahweh. And when thou numberest them, that there be no plague among them, when thou numberest them, this they shall give. Every one that passeth among them that are numbered half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. The shekel is 20 gerahs, half a shekel for an offering to Yahweh. Every one that passeth among them that are numbered from 20 years old and upward shall give the offering of Yahweh. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than the half shekel when they give the offering of Yahweh to make atonement for your soul. And thou shalt take the atonement money from the children of Israel, and thou shalt appoint it for the service of the tent of meeting, that it may be a memorial for the children of Israel before Yahweh, to make atonement for your souls.
Okay, very good. All right, so the thing that's being taken up is the sum of the children of Israel. It's a head count. It's a head count that's being taken up, and they're taking a shekel for each one that is ransomed. Okay. I thought this was interesting over here in this in our textbook here. Let's see here. Oh. So, hold on one second. Let me get rid of this. One second here. Okay. So for this here ransom and a ransom, or this here, where it says in verse number 12, and give every man a ransom. It says here in this commentary, the soldier who is ready to march into battle is in the eyes of heaven a potential taker of life, though not a deliberate murderer. Hence, he requires a ransom for his life. So it's like he's paying, it's like he's paying a debt ahead of time. He didn't kill anyone. He's definitely not murdering anybody because we're talking about war, but he's paying this debt ahead of time for this thing that he can potentially do. I thought that was interesting. But and so we see over here that the does it say, let's see, did we read? Oh yeah, verse 14. So we're talking about everybody from 20 years and above. 20 years and above. These are the ones who were counted, the ones that were 20 years and above. When you think about the the thing with Israel, the count that they were taking was a count again for battle, right? Count for war. And so they counted the people who were eligible for war, which was those that were 20 and above. Everyone else was all children, right?
Israel had a thing with age. Like age meant something.
Doesn't it? Doesn't age mean something?
I mean,
in general?
you couldn't minister at priest until you were 30. He wasn't a human being counted for 20. He really wasn't a baby if he was a boy. He was old. No, you had to retire at a certain age.
Mhm.
It's just interesting.
Yeah.
They're aging.
Well, I guess Israel may be that. I don't think it's an issue. All right, so let's keep on going here. There's a lot. These portions are huge, actually. These 4 parts of this. These portions are pretty big. And so when we think about chapter 30, the remainder of chapter 30, again, starting with the 11th verse, you have the shekel, the law of the shekel, well, it's a half shekel, that the adult Israelite was able to bring, that he was commanded to actually bring. He was supposed to bring that forth. And for every man, there was a half a shekel. It said that nobody brought more, nobody brought less. If you was rich, you wasn't like, you didn't bring like a whole shekel or 50 shekels, right? You just brought what was required of you, which was this half shekel. It's interesting that at the time, it wasn't so long ago when the Most High had commanded for the people to begin to give their money in the first place, right? To give their gold and their silver and their bronze for the building of the tabernacle. But here, I guess it's a separate giving that is rendered, that was separate, different from that over there. But more in this chapter, they have the laver, which was the place where the priests, they came and they washed their hands and they washed their feet right before they went and did the things that they were commissioned to do, um, in the tabernacle. And then they also had the anointing oil. The anointing oil. Here, let's go down to verse. Let's see here, 22. Read 22, 26.
It says, moreover, Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, take thou also unto thee the chief spices of following myrrh, 500 shekels, and a sweet cinnamon, half so much, even 250, and of sweet calamus, 250, and of acacia, 500, after the shekel of the sanctuary, and of olive oil, a hin. And thou shalt make it a holy anointing oil, a perfume compounded after the art of the perfumer. It shall be a holy anointing oil. And thou shalt anoint therewith the tent of meeting and the ark of the testimony.
Okay, very good. So, also in this chapter, we have the holy anointing oil. The anointing oil. Oh, hold on. Does it talk about the? No, it talks about the incense. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it also has the incense, which is down from 34 to 38. But where does it talk about? Oh, wait. It says table vessels, burnt, thou shalt sanctify them. Oh, here, go drop down to 29 right there.
29, and thou shalt sanctify them, that they may be most holy. Whatsoever touches them shall be holy.
Oh, you know what? I think this might be. This is your verse over here. This is your verse, right?
Oh.
That's interesting. And so think about the fact that there were certain. That's interesting. Read that verse again.
29, and thou shalt
Hold on. Go up. Let's see. Go up to 26.
It says, and thou shalt anoint therewith the tent of
That's
meeting.
anointing.
Anoint therewith the tent of meeting, and the ark of the testimony, and the table, and all the vessels thereof, and the candlestick, and the vessels thereof, and the altar of incense.
Okay, all this stuff is getting anointed with the oil. Okay, go ahead. 28.
And the altar of burning offering with all the vessels thereof, and the laver and the base thereof.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt sanctify them, that they may be most holy. Whatsoever touches them shall be holy.
Okay, okay. Oh, I think we talked about this. I think we talked about this because the wording here is interesting. The word, can you find in the textbook? See how it says here, the cross reference here? The 29 verses, hold on, that's 29:37. You don't see that cross reference for verse 29? Huh? The cross reference for 29. 29:37.
Uh-huh. You want me to pull that up?
Because when you look at that, right, whatsoever touches them shall be holy. Does that mean that when you touch it, it make you holy? Or do it mean anybody who touch it need to be holy? Because it's talking about all of the things, right? It says all of the things and then sanctify them. What you sanctifying? The things that the things might be most holy. And whosoever touches them, the thing shall be holy. Now you could say that these things make you holy, or you could say that you got to be holy in order to touch the thing. What do that? What do that? Did that go to a commentary?
29:37.
Or is this a verse?
You want me to read the verse first?
What do the verse say?
The verse says, 7 days thou shalt make atonement for the altar and sanctify it. Thus shall the altar be most holy. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy. 37 says, whatsoever touches, or whosoever touches, anything approaching the altar must be pure. Most modern commentators explain the words to mean, whatsoever touched the altar became thereby. In other words, the property of the sanctuary and had to be sacrificed.
That's okay. So that's something else now. So it became holy, but it had to be sacrificed. Wow. Okay. So what I was thinking about was the fact that, first of all, anything that had any business touching any of those things anyway will already be holy. So it would be like it would be something that already needed to be holy. Whether you're talking about a guy, human, the priest, who he had to be holy, but also the animals, right? A set apart animal, the animal fit a particular criteria in the first place. And so that was the reason why he was even being in close proximity to the altar where he might touch it anyway. But then now when you think about this thing again, if we're saying that it meets this particular qualifications and then the altar is taking it over the top, or it's already there and it's just kind of just agreeing with what it's already is supposed to be. Because you think about the whole situation with what went on with the no, I was gonna say with in the like the Maccabees, where they're defiling it, right? They wasn't taking no pigs in there, and the pigs was made holy.
I mean, there's no respect for the sanctity of the altar and
No.
purposely trying to desecrate it.
Yeah.
But I think that whenever you come there with a pure heart, it just gets more pure. So it's like you bring an offering that you think is without blemish, but it obviously probably has some sort of blemish within it.
But it got
Because
to
it's not a perfect thing.
it got to have a level of holiness
It already has
already there.
holiness that got brought high.
Mhm.
I do believe that the altar has the transforming power.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the other thing that is said about the whole thing about the fact that it needed to now die after the fact, that was also very interesting. All right, so let's see. So there's that, there's the incense, there's the oil, there's the sanctification of all the things in chapter 30. Oh, the oil could not. Now, see, this is interesting because the oil, okay, so you're sanctifying. This is interesting because you're sanctifying all of the things. I guess this kind of reinforces what we're kind of talking about. The, you're sanctifying the things, you're anointing it with the oil. Holy things, when things touch the holy things, they became holy. But when you look at 30, read 31 and 32.
31 and 32 says, "And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, This shall be a holy anointing oil unto me throughout your generation. Upon the flesh of a man shall it not be poured, neither shall ye make any like it according to the composition thereof. It is holy, and it shall be holy unto you."
Okay, very good. So you wasn't touching nobody with this oil. You wasn't putting this oil on somebody who it wasn't supposed to be put on. Right? What happened if you put it on? Do it say what happened? Upon the flesh of man shall not be poured. It don't say what happened. Oh, did you read 33?
No, 33. Whosoever compoundeth any like it, or whosoever putteth any of it upon a stranger, he shall be cut off.
So he getting cut off then. Okay, so interesting. So it don't did he get made holy, but he still gotta get did he still gotta die or get cut off? See, that's a discrepancy, I think. There's a little discrepancy.
Or you got cut off and you was gonna die.
So you still get sacrificed.
Yeah.
But you cut off.
And they used to try to make that wish, remember?
Who did? They still be making it.
I don't do that anymore.
Maybe you could buy some probably on Amazon. I won't never buy it. I seen somebody talking about how they buy some on how they buy some online. But you know, I ain't buying that stuff because it say you ain't supposed to put like you could mix up the recipe now. You could use those ingredients, but don't use them ratios. But if you try to make this right here, that's a sin right there. You sinning. You know? All right, let's keep on going over here. Let's look at because there's a lot of stuff in here. So let's look over at the next chapter. The next chapter, 31. And let's read down to 11.
It says, and Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the spirit of Elohim, in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to devise skillful works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and in cutting of stones for setting, and in carving of wood, to work in all manner of workmanship. And I, behold, I have appointed with him, Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan, and in the heart of all that are wise hearted, I have put wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded thee, the tent of meeting and the tent of testimony, and the ark cover that is thereupon, and all the furniture of the tent, and the table and its vessels, and the pure candlestick with all its vessels, and the altar of incense, and the altar of burnt offering with all its vessels, and the laver and its base, and the plated garments and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garment of his sons, the minister in the priest's office, and the anointing oil and the incense of sweet spices for the holy place. According to all that I have commanded thee shall they do.
Okay, very good. So we have these wise-hearted individuals who the Most High has put wisdom in. We talked about this a little bit the last week. We looked at these people here. This guy, Bezalel, in the shadow of Elohim. In the shadow of Elohim. That's his name. That's an interesting name. Bezalel. Let's see here. In the shadow, that is protection of Elohim. Let's see it. Saul, shade, defense, shade, shadow. Okay, very good. So when you think about this man and his name, what? How far away from her is Caleb? Wasn't Caleb? What tribe was Caleb from? Oh, he was a Kenizzite. Hold on, who was it? It was Joshua and Caleb. Who was it? Who was from Judah? Was one of them from Judah?
Caleb was from the tribe of Judah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how far away from her he was.
You mean like in the land got split?
No, in his lineage. Do it say who his daddy was?
Who hers daddy?
I need my computer.
That's in Numbers. Um,
Oh, her is Caleb's son.
what?
The same name. Caleb's.
Children, her parents, Caleb. Hold on. No, why'd you put that in there? You shouldn't have put. You shouldn't have. You like cheated a little.
Oh.
All right, somebody figure that out for me because I just seen it real quick and I was thinking.
Okay, so let me make sure I know what the question is.
The question is,
How far?
what is the relationship between her and Caleb?
Her.
If in fact Caleb is from the tribe of Judah. All right. Let's see. While you doing that, let me go over here. We don't got enough people in the comments
Nobody's looking we can figure it out for next. For Shabbat.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna figure it out though, because somebody else will get it.
Yes.
Okay, so let us go. Let's see here. So 31. Oh, the end of 30. The end of 30. Keep losing my cursor. Oh, let's go. The end of 30 talks about the Shabbat. Oh, that's 31. Talks about the Shabbat. The Shabbat. And now what's left? 32. So let's go over to 32.
Stop.
It's interesting when we look at here, let's read really quickly here. Let's see, 31 verse 12 through 12 through the end.
And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily, ye shall keep my Sabbaths, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yahweh who sanctifies. Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that profaneth it shall surely be put to death. For those whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day is a Sabbath of solemn rest, holy to Yahweh. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations, for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day he ceased from work and rested. And he gave unto Moses when he had made an end of speaking with him upon Mount Sinai, the two tables of the testimony, tables of stone, written with the fingers of.
Okay, very good. So it's interesting, just as thinking about what's getting ready to happen, where we are here with the end of chapter 31, talking about the Shabbat. So you went through the whole tabernacle situation, all of the things in the tabernacle, the priest's clothes, the incense, and the oil, everything about the tabernacle and all of that. And then it talks about the Shabbat, which, by the way, gets on my nerves when people try to talk about the Shabbat. Um, you know, the Shabbat's from creation. It's a memorial of creation, right? It's a reminder that the Most High created what He created in 6 days, and then He ceased on the seventh day. And so it's interesting how we see all of these things that involve worship unto the Most High, um, uh, uh, sanctioned worship unto the Most High. That's what these whole chapters have all been about: sanctioned worship unto the Most High. Where to do it at, how to do it, all the things that you need in order to do it, right? His high day, most high's high day, right? Um, Israel at this time, you're dealing with a people who literally saw these people did, you know what? These people, we talked about the unforgivable sin. These people did the unforgivable sin. You know that? These people denied the power of the Most High after they've seen with their own eyes. They experienced it. They heard the Most High speak. I know, but it's not at this. This is the problem, though. This is at the point where it's beyond anything having to be proven anymore, because they heard him talk. They said to Moses, "Moses, don't let him talk to us anymore. I'm too scared. I cannot hear that voice. It's too scary." Oh, and by the way, that voice that you heard, that was the one who got you out. Right? So there was a connection made where all the way up until that point, maybe they were trying to figure out what was what. They wasn't sure. There was some unsurety about this or that. They literally saw a mountain burning, fire and thunder and lightning, and heard a voice. And so they see this, they see all of this, and I feel like just like when we look at Aaron, where Aaron gets these transgressions against him, but it's like it has to accumulate in order for him to get a penalty. This thing that they're getting ready to do, this thing that they're getting ready to do is on par with that, right? It's on par with it. And I think that the positioning here, again, like I'm saying, it's interesting because it's giving you the tabernacle, all of the things, and Shabbat. All that build up, we're gonna go to the next chapter and read 32 down to, well, first of all, yeah, we're gonna read down to, let's see. 6, 1 through 6. 32, 1 through 6. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I know, I keep using the wrong. Two, 1 through 6.
It says, and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said, up, make us a God who shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we know not what is become of him.
Okay, hold on a second. So this is hard for me to this is hard for me to deal with because of the fact that even if you say that Moses is taking a long time, can't I just try to find somebody that replaces Moses instead of trying to replace the Most High? Like, why can't I find why can't I just say, Aaron, take Moses' place? Like, why?
You might be our Moses.
Yeah, why couldn't they have done that? I feel like that would have been better. They would have did that because they really treating him like they treat Aaron like Moses anyway when they going to him, right? So why couldn't they just be like Aaron all the way? You Moses, now you take care of us. Why are they like make us a god who shall go before? Like to me, to me, like is there like some kind of track history of them making gods that are as powerful as what they just saw? I doubt it. I
I
want
can't imagine that they were gonna make one, they could have made one in Egypt. And already had before. So, you know, they obviously wasn't able to create a
I'm
God.
just gonna say there's no logic in it. This move was totally illogical. All right, keep going.
And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden rings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people broke off the golden rings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. And he received it at their hand and fashioned it with a graven tool. And he made it a molten calf. And they said, this is thy God of Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw this, he built an altar. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, tomorrow shall be a feast to Yahweh. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offering and brought peace offering. And the people sat down and eat and drink and rose to make merry.
That's crazy. All right, so there's a couple things. There's a couple things here. There's a couple things here to take note of that go on. I want to mention. First of all, if you're going to sit up here and make yourself a god, that's one thing. But how do you get to the place where this thing that you're making is the thing that brought you out of Egypt? You don't went crazy. Hold on, who said that? Did Aaron say that? Oh, come on. Oh, they said no. They said
Aaron might.
Aaron, he got some issues because they go to Aaron, they say Aaron do this, and then Aaron said, break off these rings and bring them up to me. All the people broke them up. and then he made some this calf. But when the people seen the thing that he made, and then they say this is the God of Israel, was brought thee out of the land of Egypt. That's just this is just the golden calf is interesting because when you think about um, what this is, when you think about the fact that they made this thing and they called it the Most High, they said this thing that we're making is the Most High. They were worshiping the Almighty. They said over here in verse number 5, they're making a feast unto Yahweh. And so they're doing this worship unto the Almighty in an unsanctioned way. Right? It's an unsanctioned way that they're doing this thing unto the Most High. And so when you think about today, for instance, when you think about today, these days and times when people say, I'm celebrating this holiday or that holiday, I don't believe in bunnies or trees or whatever. But I'm remembering my God this way. This is a perfect example of people doing it. The Most High tells you how He wants for you to honor Him. And he gives specific instructions. And so when you go and you do it the way that you think that you're supposed to do it, and by the way, that way involves these other things that are connected to these other gods, it's just like this. So whatever penalty the Most High chose for the people after they did this, I wonder if those things, that same penalty, is something that somebody would deserve if they came up with some unsanctioned form of worship. Okay, so that's what they do. They do all of the things. They make this golden calf. They have a good time. They rise up and they play. They rise up and they just have a good old time. What's this word here? Tahak, to laugh outright, merriment, sport, laugh, mock, play, make sport.
They weren't mourning.
What?
They weren't mourning. They thought they lost Moses.
No. Yeah.
They thought
Yeah.
it
Wait a
seems like they
second.
should be scared.
Why wouldn't they have like some kind of a, like when you think about like when Miriam, when she dies, they mourn. Did somebody tell them to mourn for Miriam? Somebody like, we're gonna have 30 days with Miriam. I don't think so. I think they just naturally did it. I know, but you just bring up a good point. Why didn't they do something for Moses?
They probably was like, I mean, if they were afraid to hear the voice of the Most High, they probably was like trying to kind of get away from that something more palatable. Even when people feel like something's too strict, there seems like sometimes there is things, the human instinct is to try to do something that's more watered down, but still kind of the same thing. I mean, think about the whole mountain thing. You had to separate yourself, you couldn't, they had to put a boundary around the mountain, so nobody would get too close to it. Only two people could go on the mountain. And they were scared to death, like hearing the sounds coming from the mountain and everything. So, to them, it's like, give us something that we can actually like interact with.
Yeah.
And that's actually how it is with people who come into the faith. It's like sometimes it's just too much. Give me something I can.
I know, but the thing about it is that
Yeah.
they didn't even get into nothing really yet. They didn't even hardly get into nothing yet, and then they just was like, they was acting it's just a shame, and it's really interesting when you think about the way that these people did here. Let's see. I want to see here. Let's see. That's verse 5. Oh, somebody has a question. Oh, Hadassah, yes. Is that caused by their lack of faith? I mean, that thing that they did, I'm just gonna say is kind of is the epitome of the lack of faith. They absolutely didn't. They weren't faithing in the Most High one bit, because he just got finished. He the Most High. Well, wait a second. We got to think about this now. We do got to think about this, because when you think about Moses is up there getting the instructions. Moses is up there getting the instructions, so they don't know. You could say they don't know what the instructions are.
Well, but they heard it.
They did hear the Ten Commandments. They did hear, you should not have no gods before me. They did hear, don't make no graven images. Okay, I almost made an excuse for them. I almost.
They didn't know the severity.
There is not an excuse.
There's not.
But it's definitely a lack of faith. And so when you see this, like it's a total kind of they're not paying attention to anything really that has anything to do with the Most High. They've made a God that's probably closer to something that they might have seen already back in Egypt already. There's credit that's supposed to be. See, the thing is, something that my grandfather used to always talk about is that he would say that the Most High, his claim to fame was that he brought Israel out of Egypt. This is the thing that he's known for.
Yeah.
Like I like to tell people that I run into, this is very specific. People that I run into that went to high school at the same time that I did and went to Westinghouse, or they went to Westinghouse at any time. I love to tell those people that we beat Westinghouse at Westinghouse. I love to tell people that. It's almost like a claim to fame, right? We had if anybody knows from Pittsburgh knows about Westinghouse and their field, it's like it's part of it is there's woods there. So the people, the spectators, they're in the stands, but they're also in the woods. So people would like submerge out of the woods and throw rocks.
Wow.
We couldn't take our helmets off on the sideline. You know, usually you get on the sideline, you take your helmet off, but we had to keep ours on because it was hostile up there, right? But we beat them in their own place. But claim to fame. The Most High is the one who got the Israel out of Egypt. And then these people stood up here and said, "This is thy God, O Israel, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt."
They try to take that thing that that's how he introduces himself over and over again. I am Yahweh your Elohim who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. It's just the opening of
When they literally heard his voice, that's what he
first
said.
words.
But
I
he,
brought you out.
but he say that all the time, though, right?
How could they say it? They were so afraid.
They was tripping.
They were so afraid whenever they heard that introduction, and then they gonna sit there and make it go in chat.
They tripping. And so what we see happen, you know, Aaron, he makes the thing, and then it's interesting. I think it's interesting the way the Most High interact with Moshe over here. Let's read a little bit. See if we drop down to 7. Start reading that verse 7 there.
7 said, and Yahweh spoke unto Moses, Go thee down, for thy people that thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt dealt corruptly. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed unto it and said, This is thy God, Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And Yahweh said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, and my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. And Moses,
hold on, what was we talking about last whenever I was talking about Most High and his wax hot anger? You remember? I don't remember, but there ain't that many places where he'd be wax hot. He'd be ready to pour some wax hot anger up on somebody. Go ahead.
we had 11. 11 said, and Moses besought Yahweh, his Elohim, and said, Yahweh, why does thy wrath wax hot against thy people? And thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand.
Okay, so Moses besought. Moses besought. Moses kala. He kala right there. To be rubbed or worn hence, to be weak, sick, afflicted, grieve, sick, stroke, flattered, beseech, disease. So he's begging. He's begging the Most High, please, you saved these people. You did this thing. You brought these people out. I know that they sat up here and they made this false God unto you, but please, please. It's interesting. It's interesting when you look at the this interaction, because when you look at the whole interaction, it seems as if the Most High is ready to do something. Moses steps in, and then he changes his mind, right? And that's what it looks like over here when you see it, right? And you see Moses saying, "Remember Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, my servants. Remember these things." And then 14, read 14 right there.
14. And Yahweh repented of the evil which he said he would do unto his people.
Okay, so the Most High was going to kill these people. Moses is like, "Please don't kill them." And then the Most High is like, "No, okay, you're right. I was going to do it, but now I'm not going to do it." Now, when you look at this now the Bible's not saying this. This is what I'm saying. But when we look at the Most High and who He is, we talked about before the idea of the Most High being He's all knowing. The Most High knows everything before it happens. And so to me, I'm saying when I look at this, to me, this whole situation here is not for the Most High's purpose, but it's for Moses' purpose. Moses is for us a picture of Messiah. And Messiah is our advocate. He's the one that goes before the Father and pleads our case. But we're able to see a picture of that through Moses here doing it for the people. And so I wonder if the Most High really, because the Most High, He didn't even have to talk to Moses about it. He didn't have to say, "You know what your people doing right now? They're down there acting a fool. They're going crazy." And so why did He even involve Moses in this? Why did He even have to say, "Moses, I'm gonna kill these people because they tripping"? Like He didn't have to tell them. But I'm saying the reason why He did tell them is for not for His own sake, but for Moses' sake. And we learn about Moses right here. It's interesting because when Moses sees what when Moses sees what they was doing, he act like the Most High.
Man,
His anger got whacked.
Yeah. And Moses do some judgment on him. Or let's go down and let's end off with Moses' judgment.
15.
Wait. Jump down to 19.
19. It says, and it came to pass as soon as he came nigh into the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing. And Moses' anger waxed hot. And he cast the tables out of his hand and broke them beneath the mountain.
Oh my goodness. Keep on going.
And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it with fire and ground it to powder and strewed it upon the water and made the children of Israel drink of it.
Wow. So he made some golden calf Kool-Aid. He made some golden calf Kool-Aid. He ground the stuff up to powder and stirred it up and made them drink it.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. All right, keep on reading.
21. And Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought the great sin upon them? And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people that they are set on evil.
All right, you can stop right there. So Aaron tripped. You know what? I really don't know how Aaron gets out of this. You know that. The one, how do Aaron even get out of this? He just flipped. Like he flips on the people whenever Moses come back. Wow.
Wishy-washy.
He crazy. But it's interesting when we see Moses come down. Moses, because the thing about it is that we're gonna end with this here. It's the thing about it is that um, when we see the Most High, the thing about it is that when you have like sin has to be dealt with, and there's nothing that could be done over there, right? And so if the sin is not being cleansed, if the thing's not getting cleansed, there has to be like a judgment, right? And these people's hearts just so like it just was so this is gross iniquity. Like there's things that they could have done instead of taking it to this extreme, to this extent. This is really just a manifestation of the hearts of these people. Aaron gets another chance. He gets another chance. Maybe he just was just overwhelmed with all of the people. I don't know, but they just went too far. They took it too far.
Yeah.
And the Most High was right. The Most High was right. Moses had to see it for himself.
He didn't know how bad it was.
No, he didn't know how bad it was. When he saw it, then it was just they took it too far. And so we see that, the wages, this is an example, the wages of sin is death, right? And so, all right, but we actually gotta go ahead and be done with this for now. But we're definitely gonna pick up where we left off at on Shabbat. There's a cliffhanger here. We'll pick up where we left off here on Shabbat, y'all willing, if the creeks don't rise. We'll pick up where we left off on Shabbat. I want to thank everybody who came in and checked us out. Y'all willing, we will return in a few days and talk about this a little further. All right. So for now, we'll go ahead and say shalom.